Listen, as of April the 1st, a new ordinance took effect in Austin. It requires short-term rentals to be subjected to a hotel occupancy tax. Now an 11% tax is being levied on those bookings through platforms like Airbnb and Vrbo. And some people have already noticed the new tax is scaring some potential guests away. Blake Carter, he's the co-founder of Cribs Consulting. They manage about 85 short-term rental properties here in town. He tells KVUE that the city has forced property owners to pass that increased tax, if you will, on to the customers.
Right now, it looks like the platforms are adding it to the guest side so that the guests are paying more. But, I mean, it's all supply and demand, so that is going to make rates fall as properties become more expensive.
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem Vanessa Fuentes says the new hotel occupancy tax was the council's way of trying to address unlicensed STRs and the potential impact on affordability.
The issue is that we have these corporate-owned STRs that come into our city that buy up entire blocks. We don't have a way to contact them, and they're buying up affordable housing stock, and it's having an impact on our affordability levels.
I'm not sure I'm buying that they can't reach the owners.
Of course not, and I don't. It's not the first time that I've heard her specifically say that, too, about an issue with a private property.
They get
we can't find the owner. Well, you know what? Figure it out.
They get a water bill, an electric bill. They get a tax bill every year.
Yeah, we can find them if you put out even a modicum of effort to do so.
Well, here's the thing. Vanessa Fuentes wants her cake and eat it, too. Mm-hmm. Hang on a second. She says the STR owners may not like these new changes, but it's necessary.
When you have short-term rentals that are buying up the entire blocks, it makes it really hard for us to address local problems, public nuisance, noise issues, trash issues. And so it was really important for us to set some parameters.
Yeah, that's not true. I mean, if you've got a property where there's a noise and a trash issue, you do have a legal avenue to address those issues, Ms. Fuentes. Mm-hmm. And here's the other thing. It appears the city council wants the tax revenue. They desperately want them to be registered STRs. They want that 11% tax revenue. But then out of this other side of her mouth, she says they're bad for single families. They shouldn't be owned anyway. That's property that could be owned by a family that lives here year round. They can't have it both ways. And if they really are concerned about affordability and they really hate STRs, then they would ban STRs. But they won't do that. No. Because they love the 11% tax revenue. They want their cake and eat it too.
Absolutely. And I always find it rich when you hear council members in this city talking about how we're doing things to address affordability. When I would argue that one of the sole reasons that nothing is affordable in this city is because of the Austin City Council, nearly exclusively. I mean, obviously there are going to be some outside influences, but every decision they make it under the guise of, solving some problem in a neighborhood or making things more affordable, more accessible. And in the process, everybody else eats the cost and nobody's life is more affordable because of the decisions they make.
Not to mention the city council put a tariff on STRs to get what they want.
They did put a tariff, didn't they?
They did.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right though. She does want it both ways, and she cannot have it both ways. But doesn't mean they're not going to continue to try.
All right, jump in here. 512-836-0590. How about this? The decades-old explosives found in a northeast Austin home after an investigation. They called out the bomb squad. This is on the 11,000 block of Dove Haven Drive. Investigation led to the discovery of explosives in a neighborhood, and they may have been there for quite a long time. Yeah, about 2:15 yesterday afternoon, the APD bomb squad was called in. This is over on Red Oaks Drive, just east of 35. Patrol was called out for some degraded explosives that would have at one time been used for mining and construction, that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, the bomb squad determined that the explosives were likely decades old, highly unstable. That made them a little dangerous, right?
Yeah, very dangerous.
Yeah. Now, was this inside a home in a garage or something?
That's kind of what I'm getting the feeling that it was somewhere inside of a home. Certainly nothing illegal about them, just old and degrading and highly unstable and almost too dangerous to just carry out and march them through the neighborhood.
Sounds like somebody used to work at a local rock quarry.
Something like that, I would think, and then brought them home decades ago, and then they just sat there.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a little weird.
I mean, thank God.
How were they found? How were they found? That's what I don't understand. Well, according to the story, the bomb squad determined that the explosives were likely decades old. Lieutenant Myrick, talking with KTBC, says over the time, those explosives become very dangerous as they degrade. Very unpredictable, he says. Neighbors got a text alert about 1:30 advising them to shelter in place, but it was later upgraded to an evacuation. Everyone was told to avoid the area until they removed the explosives. Wow.
I'm still trying to figure out exactly how they came to realize that, oh man, there's these explosives in here.
Yeah.
I mean,
sounds like a neighbor saw it or something, or found it, maybe a new tenant or something like that, and then reached out to APD or a patrol officer and alerted the bomb squad. Wow, what a story.
Can you imagine like moving into a new rental unit and oops, there are these degrading explosives, just hanging out in your bedroom?
It is 7:27. You could jump in here at 512-836-0590.
The Todd Oz Show.
Baseball season.